What is going on, everybody? And so for those of you who have watched past videos, or if you follow me on Instagram or Snap or any of that, you know that my oil pan gasket is leaking. So we're gonna fix that because we don't want our oil pan gasket leaking. So basically what happens is every time that I get this thing under extreme load, in other words, flooring it, or, wide open pulls or anything like that, some of the oil actually seeps out of the back of the motor right where the gasket is. I believe the gasket was either blown out or I dented my oil pan and it caused it to separate from the motor, either of which are a very good possibility. So reject the car up, drain out the oil, and then we'll get to starting to undo the oil pan. There's a brace in the way that I got to take out, but it shouldn't be too bad. Guys, so we got the car jacked up, and now you can see that this side of the pan is most of the way dry, but if we come over here and take a gander, it is completely saturated all the way around the edge, just absolutely coated in oil, which is no bueno. So what we got to do is we got to take off that brace, and then we can take off the oil pan. But I'm going to take the drain plug off, let it drain out while I'm taking this brace off. I want to get this process done as fast as possible. That way this has as long to cure as possible, because I don't want this stuff leaking into my oil or anything like that. I've never worked with gasket makers, so I don't really know what to expect. I'm assuming it's going to be a lot easier than I originally am thinking that it's going to be. But until then, I just got to figure it out. Thing to check every time you work on your stuff is to make sure you have all the sockets you need actually being out and in the right spot, because otherwise you end up having to go back and forth into the house a million times where you keep the rest of your tools, because you can't just have everything out and ready when you start working on something. I don't know. Story of me working on anything here. I'm in and out of the house like 30,000 times. Alright, so the brace is out. Look how big these bolts are. It's just crazy. I remember taking it out for the first time. I thought it was just nuts how big those were. But now we got that out. The oil is pretty much gone. So I'm going to climb up under here and start working at all these bolts that go along the oil pan. And we will see what we can do. Should be nice and easy. I think it's a bunch of 10 mils. So that is what we're going to do next. Also, a story of my life and every other mechanic's life, I can't find the 10 mil. And those are the size of the bolts for my oil pan. I just need to buy like 30 different 10 mils, and then if I lose one, I have 29 more. And then just keep going, and just once a year I should just buy a bunch of them. That would make my life a whole lot easier. Alright guys, so the oil pan is now out, which is good because I spent way too long trying to get it out because it just didn't want to come out. And just like that, it is nighttime out. Alright, morning everybody. Well, afternoon because it's 1:30 and I was up really late last night putting the oil pan on, but I got it done. So we're going to go out there and we're going to look at that in a sec, but we also need to fix the oil leak that has to do with our oil cooler today. So we got our banjo bolt, and I'm hoping it's just a bolt and that I don't have to pull the cooler. I do have an oil cooler here. I don't really want to have to use that, if that makes sense. If we have to, we have to. But I'm hoping the bolt is just cracked. They're known to do that. So we're going to run outside, we're going to take a look, and see what we're dealing with. We're going to take a quick break, because one of my packages is here. And for those of you who don't know, I play hockey. I'm a goalie. And I've been waiting a really long time to be able to get one of these, because you have to be 18 to wear one of these cages. And I've wanted one for a long time. So this is like a big thing for me because I finally am able to wear it. And they look pretty sweet. So this may not mean anything to many of you guys, but come on now. That's so sick. So we got that all taken care of. I just want to say, look how absolutely sick that cage is. Got a spider crawling on it, but yeah, that thing's pretty sick. The suspect is right there. As you can see, it's quite oily under here. I don't know exactly where it's coming from, but I think it's coming from this bolt. Doesn't look like it's seated properly on here. So we're going to take the bolt off, and hopefully the internal threads on the oil cooler aren't screwed up. I don't think they should be. You can see this oil is just going absolutely everywhere. So this I've been wanting to fix for quite a while now. Alright guys, so I have the bolt out. As you can see, oil cooler just decided to piss oil all over me. But I don't see really any visible damage to the bolt. There are little signs of stretching, but nothing too extreme like I was expecting. But since we have the new bolt, we're going to put it in anyways. I also have a bag of the new... I also have a bag of fresh crush washers. So we're going to throw one of these on as well. So we're going to throw on the washer and the new bolt once this is done draining, so I don't get oil all over me again. But this weather is super duper nice. Like, so nice. It's like 80 degrees out here, and it's April. Like, that never happens in Michigan. Alright guys, so I am waiting on a response for the torque spec for that bolt for the oil cooler, just because I don't know it off the top of my head, and I want to make sure that we don't have a leak. I can get that washer to crush correctly. So the next thing we're going to do is, this guy's peeling up a little bit, so we're going to take this sticker off. I actually have 3 more of these, and I think we're going to take all these off and leave the back window clean, and then possibly put some stickers elsewhere, because I don't know if I like the look of having all the stickers in the back window. Alright guys, so we cleaned off the rear glass. I definitely like it better with nothing back there. Looks a lot cleaner. But I went ahead, don't even think about saying anything. I got the Star Shopping sticker on the dash now, and I bought the last few that they had because I knew I was going to take the one off the rear window because it started peeling, and I wanted to make sure I got some just because I really like them, and so one of them is now on my dash. As far as the rest of the interior, I am going to pick up a hub Sunday from one of my buddies who also has an RX-8. He doesn't want the hub because he can't use clock spring. I'm okay with having an airbag light because I have it covered by a sticker anyways. But we're getting a new NRG wheel and hub. It's really going to transform the interior of this car. I'm super, super, super excited for that. And then next would probably be seats. I'm thinking I do need to get new door speakers. I'm not too worried about that right now. Most of the time when I'm in the car, I just listen to the car anyways because I really like the way it sounds. But yeah, so that's what's coming up next for it. And I think that is pretty much going to do it for today. I'm not going to fill it up with oil or run it in this video because that RTV needs some time to dry still. The stuff that I had recommended 24 hours, and I'm not going to mess with it because I really don't want leaks, and I have the time, so I'm just going to let it do its thing. And we'll come back tomorrow morning before I go to work and fill it up and head to work from there. The bolt torqued down for the oil cooler, nice and snug. So that should not leak now. I have a new bolt, new washer. This bolt the threads were pretty dirty, I noticed. And they're kind of just, I don't know. It's a little cleaner now because I cleaned them off, but the threads were definitely dirty and it's a little bit stretched. So I'm thinking that's why it was leaking. I'm not 100% sure. You can see all the marks from where it's stretched too. So hopefully that's why it was leaking, and hopefully I fixed it. If not, I have a spare oil cooler sitting upstairs where I keep all my parts, and obviously now I have a brand new bolt, so I won't have to worry about that. I plan to get better oil cooler lines in the future, some braided stainless steel ones. Do a lot better at cooling the car, obviously. It'll be really good. So that is the plan. I just got done editing some videos and doing some chores, and I thought, you know what? It's been a while since we've had a food vlog. So tonight I am making some patty melts, and I have a little bit of cheese and onions in the meat, and we are throwing it on the flat top. I think it's going to turn out really good. This is the first time I've really made like true patty melts, so I'm hoping it's good. I don't know why it wouldn't be.